So I know I have a sports channel. I talk about college basketball, college football, and all that all the time. Well, I know what's going on in the world. Everybody does. And I'm hoping maybe this story will give you a chuckle, maybe just a laugh, maybe it'll make your day a little better. So I want to tell you the story of when I used to work at Sears. So I was a young kid working at Sears. It was not my first job, but it was probably my second job I ever had. And, I kind of took it a little serious, I guess, a little bit. Well, I was one of those guys that, was a salesman. And every time you walked through the door, I'd always greet you and what you needed. Yeah, I was one of them guys that you got agitated with. One day I'm working with this lady. I'm checking out this lady on, I can't even remember what it was. Well, I'm staring at this old B.A.M computer that looks like it was one of the first ones ever invented. If you ever worked at Sears, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every Sears had it. Some 1960s, 1970s model computer that they had. And it would always mess up anyways. Well, I'm at the checkout and I'm with this lady and I'm hearing this sales guy talk with this lady and a husband about a Dyson vacuum. And back then, these things were like $800. I don't know how much they are now, but they were expensive even back then. And I'm like, I'm listening to this guy give her the spill, and he was a good salesman. And, he was talking, like, oh, it had a 5-year warranty. It had all these attachments. It did this. It had all this power. And, man, he was talking so good. It was like, man, I want a Dyson vacuum, how well he was talking about it. And, I'm hearing this, and the lady is just getting agitated with him because she wants to know everything about this vacuum cleaner. And yes, one of those people. And I didn't know her name, so we'll just call her Karen because I don't know her name. But she was a typical Karen, even back then before Karen was a thing. So, he's giving her the spill, and the lady just gets agitated, and she says, hey, I want somebody else. And I heard this. And my dumb self thought it was going to be a good idea to tell my exact line that I always use on vacuum cleaners. And I thought it was always funny. I was a young kid. Maybe it's not as funny as I thought, but maybe you think it's funny. Well, he asked me, he says, hey, Blake, what else do you know about this Dyson vacuum cleaner? I look up because I'm hearing everything that's going on. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make everybody laugh. And she looks at me, and the husband, looks like he didn't even want to be there the entire time, just looking at me with like this face. And look, I'm looking at him like, man, I don't even want to be here. But I look at this lady and I say, yeah, I know something about that vacuum cleaner. And she said, well, what? I said, yeah, they all suck. And I thought it was a great line. And maybe it's a dad joke. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I was 19, 20 years old at the time. I thought it was hilarious. Well, she didn't think it was. And she stormed out of there so fast, and I was under the impression that I was probably going to lose my job. And maybe she heard the word suck and was offended by it because the guy seemed like he was unhappy. Well, needless to say, I was kind of embarrassed, and the salesman guy that was hoping to sell that Dyson vacuum because he actually made a good commission on it, wasn't very happy with me either. Well, even after that, maybe I felt a little bad. I still thought it was funny to this day. Look, I get that some people are like that and some people can't take a joke, and I thought it was just something funny. But that's just one of the ones I had. I worked at Sears for a couple years. That's just one of the many stories that I got that I can actually make you maybe laugh a little bit and makes me look bad at the same time. But you know what? I am a sports channel, so I like to have sports references in everything I talk about. Look, all vacuums are like the Jacksonville Jaguars. They suck. Well, hey, I appreciate you watching my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great one.